Everybody knows you never go full retard.
Alright, guys, welcome back. Now, I know that you guys have been following the other series, and now I've been doing this series, That Won't Fly, which is going to be kind of the segue into, or at least the filler of the shows and movies that are coming up. The next things that I want to do are Black Widow and the Loki series, and that isn't coming out for about a month between now and June. So we are in April. No, we're in May now. So we are in May now. So that gives us about a month before the Black Widow movie and the Loki series comes out, so I don't want to just take a whole month off. I want to give you guys some kind of entertainment or context or whatever you want to call this thing that I'm doing, so that way I don't just drop off into nothingness in the YouTube algorithm. And I think that this idea is kind of a good one. It's basically, this is going to be about movies and things that I have seen that are now in the cancel culture sites of basically people wanting to cancel things. This movie that I'm doing now, as you can see in the title card, is Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder is been around for at least 10 years now, and is, well, it's not politically correct, but I think it should be not politically correct because there is a lot of things that is actually making fun of, including Hollywood. The main overall theme of it is making fun of the action movie, war drama, Rambo type movies where you have these, or Full Metal Jacket and movies along those lines where it's overdone, overplayed. The movies themselves are over the top, the characters are over the top, and you wouldn't see this in real life, and that's the point that this movie is trying to make. There's a bunch of other little nuanced things in, and not nuanced things in the movie itself as well. Like you have Robert Downey Jr., who is in basically what people call blackface. He has a full body pigmentation surgery to make himself into a black man. So, and then he uses basically black man voice and has a few weird things going on in the movie. This is called out in the movie, of course, because that's the point of this character, is to be like, this is what Hollywood does to make a movie, and this is as far as actors and actresses will go to play a part to the most ridiculous ends, because it's kind of like, this white guy's playing a black guy. People have been complaining because straight people play gay people and trans people. I don't get it. I get this more so as being like the extreme, but I believe that if you have a straight person playing a gay person, or playing a trans person, or you have a woman playing a trans man or something, or a trans woman, or a man playing a trans woman, that it's just the character. As long as the person who this is about doesn't care, then it's fine. Or if it's a made-up character, who cares? That's my take on it, is I don't really care as long as they do the character justice and they're not playing a stereotype of that character. In this movie, Robert Downey Jr. does play a high stereotype of what it would be like for someone to play to be white and playing a black person. That being said, everything in this movie is nuance. It's all satire, and it's making fun of Hollywood within itself the entire time. There are a few scenes in here that I have, you can say cherry picked, which, sure, I've cherry picked them because go back and watch the entire movie. And I'm trying not to give you guys like the best, funniest parts, but the most parts that make sense for the character development in the show, in the movie. So, in the first scene, we have these guys who are all actors playing actors, and they are redoing this guy's book that's about Vietnam, and they are in Vietnam, and so they are all supposed to be playing characters, soldiers in that genre, which is kind of funny that, you know, they're just doing a reboot of themselves being that genre, which was kind of big in the 80s. This is kind of supposed to be the modern day thing. Nowadays, like maybe about 10 years ago. And so they get into a lot of the nuances of the war genre, but most of the time when they have downtime, it's just them talking to each other about their psychoses and problems. This scene that I will show you guys here in a second is basically them being, this one character being mad because he is an actual black man and he didn't get the role that Robert Downey Jr. has, and it's just kind of a fun little scene, so we'll play that now.
And why am I in this movie? Maybe I just knew I had to represent, because they had one good part in here for a black man, they gave it to Crocodile Dundee.
Pump your brakes, kid. That man's a national treasure.
I just wanted to throw another shrimp on you, Bobby.
That shit ain't funny.
Hey, fellas, it's hot. We're tired.
Took a whole lot of time just to get up that hill. Now we up in the big leagues. Kid, and I'll turn it back. Long as we live, it's you and me, baby.
That's the theme song for the Jeffersons. You really need help.
And just because the theme song don't make it not true.
Okay, so as you guys can see, the character here has no idea. Robert Downey Jr. still is in character. He has no idea what, how offensive it is for him to be playing blackface, basically, and making a scene being this character. It's kind of just ridiculous that he would be playing this guy. And even in this next scene, it goes even deeper because he starts saying stuff that's like stereotypical black person, and the actual black person calls him out on it, and it's a really fun scene, so I'll let you guys watch that part now.
Hell yeah! Ha! That's how we all talk. We all talk like this, huh? Yes, sir. Ha! Yeah, get some crawfish and some ribs. Ha! Yeah! You're Australian. Be Australian. Excuse me, Kangaroo Jack.
Alright, so what you see here now is they're arguing over how he's portraying black people, and you have the actual black guy calling him out on it, which is really funny to me, and then he starts making fun of Robert Downey Jr.'s actual character in this movie is Australian. He makes fun of him being Australian, just like he feels like he's like Robert Downey Jr.'s character is making fun of black people, which is both funny on both sides of the thing. This is what I'm saying is don't get offended by it, because they both know that they're just showing how dumb Hollywood can be and how ridiculous things are going. In this next scene, there are some Asian people, and you have Matthew McConaughey and Tom Cruise. Matthew McConaughey looks kind of like Matthew McConaughey. He has curly hair, which if you've watched some of his movies, he's had curly hair, he's had straight hair, and that's just kind of what he does. But Tom Cruise is kind of in a fat suit-ish type thing, and has a bald head and glasses. And the more complaint that you will probably hear is the stereotypical Viet Cong portrayal that the Asian people actually portray in this show is a little over, in the movie is a little over the top, but that's kind of the point in making fun of a bunch of different stuff. So you can watch these few clips here.
$50 million. You know see Simple Jack again because we kill him.
This is Last Horseman. Who is this?
This is Flaming Dragon.
Oh, okay. Flaming Dragon.
I will massacre you. I will f*** you up.
Okay, so basically these guys are calling in because they kidnapped the characters and they want some money, and what's his name? Tom Cruise's character doesn't want to pay them and thinks that they're just, messing with him. So he starts messing with them back, and stuff happens, and it's just kind of funny. In this next scene, you'll see Robert Downey Jr.'s character with Ben Stiller's character, and they're talking about how his movie, Ben Stiller's movie, is portrayed, and he plays a, as they say, retarded character, and they're talking about how he shouldn't have played, not so much that he shouldn't have played that character by itself, but that he overdid the character by not being himself in that portrayal of that character. Basically, he just played a quote-unquote retarded person where he could have put more of himself if he was a retarded person. Here's that clip.
Watched a lot of retarded people. Spent time with them, observed them. Watched all the retarded stuff they did. Yeah, exactly. You know, there were times when I was doing Jack that I actually felt retarded, like really retarded.
Oh, yeah, Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump. Slow, yes, retarded maybe, braces on his legs, but he charmed the pants off next to him and he won a ping pong competition. That ain't retarded. He was a goddamn war hero. Right. You know any retarded war heroes? You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
Okay, now, since we just got done with the characterization of Simple Jack, let's go ahead and watch the Simple Jack trailer so you guys can get some context, and then we'll move on into the next thing.
Got a good brain.
I think you've got a fine brain, Jack.
You make me happy.
Okay, so in that clip, you saw that they were kind of just explaining to each other how that works, and it's kind of ironic that Robert Downey Jr.'s character would be telling Ben Stiller's character about that, being that he is in blackface and he's actually dyed his own skin pigmented to be black. So that was kind of a huge ironicism. If that offends you, that's fine, but I mean, it's a comedy and it's making fun of Hollywood within itself and the extremes that they will go to make a movie. Even if it's not a good movie, they'll still do this just to get the part because they want to be famous. And that's just funny to me. Now, we will go through the next scene, which is the identity crisis and the revolution of the character of Robert Downey Jr. because he finally has this snap in his head and he realizes, oh, I'm not this character or this character. And a lot of actors, you'll find out if you pay attention enough, a lot of them do have this mix of character crisis where they will act like the character for so long that they just have a bunch of people in their heads.
Hi, I'm Miley. Now I'm Hannah. Now I'm Miley. I'm a real girl. I'm a pop star.
And that's kind of how this is portraying that he's finally realizing, oh, I'm not the characters that I'm portraying. I am the characters who I am. And so let's go ahead and watch that.
Me? I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. Not Sergeant Lincoln Luther.
We gotta roll out.
Lord am I. Father O'Malley. Lord May Armstrong.
I think I might be nobody.
Okay, so here we see the identity crisis and transformation of Robert Downey Jr.'s character, and he's no longer the portraying of this black character, or this Father O'Malley, or this Colonel, and all these other characters that he is basically purging out of himself because they are finally realizing that he's not these characters. So there is some growth in this, and these are the things that I see that won't fly in today's culture, just because people are very, I guess, sensitive to things like this, but they don't get, or they do get it and they don't care, or they don't get it and they still don't care. But it's a comedy. It's making fun of itself and the culture in which it's created, saying that it's okay for people to play these characters, which I think that is a part of the art of movies, is playing these characters, but you do have to represent the people well. And then we have at the very beginning of the movie, you get this trailer of trailers. So it's basically these actors, and it just kind of shows how ridiculous each character really is in their real fake life, because of the different portrayals that they've made in movies. Jack Black's character, I really hadn't found anything like too offensive about his character, but I'm sure if you look hard enough you'll find something. But he's in there as well. the thing that he plays in one of these movies is kind of the Crumps, but it's like his version of the Crumps, and it's basically like it's the Fatties Fart 2. And you'll see that here at the end, because I'm just going to let that play out behind the end credit thing. So it's kind of like if you remember the Clumps or the Crumps, that was Eddie Murphy's movie based off of the characters from Nutty Professor, the Nutty Professor version that he did. It was kind of okay. Let's just say it got old quick. The second movie was definitely not as funny. And then there was a bunch of those type of movies where you have people playing in fat suits who are skinny and probably not. Like there was one where you have a guy in a fat suit who's a cop. You have the Nutty Professor's family, and then you have White Chicks, which might be one of the ones. If you guys want me to do White Chicks, let me know in the comments, because I would actually probably like to do White Chicks, because I like the Wayans brothers, but you can see how how that could be offensive too. So if you guys want me to do that one as well, hit me up in the comments. With that being said, guys, I will let you go and have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys next time. I believe the next one that I will be doing will be The Producers, because there's quite a bit to hit on in that. But again, it's be offended, don't be offended, but at least understand what the movie is about and why they did what they're doing. So with that, guys, that won't fly, and I will see you later. Peace.